Sure.
Yes, Akanksha.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday night, IST, for this particular session. I'm really, really grateful to you. And I just hope that I can make the best use of this opportunity and can give you the value of your valuable time. So here I go. I'm Akanksha. I have been with FELD since inception, but I have not been so active. But with this, I consider this as my comeback, and I really hope to be more regular from now onwards. So with that, today I'm going to review two books. Let's go with the first one, which is Pollyanna Grows Up. This book is Miss Portal's second book. It is a sequel of Pollyanna. So Pollyanna was launched long back, way back in 1913, 1-3. And it was so successful that the author really thought of launching the sequel. And this is the sequel. It really took me a long time after Pollyanna. I was reading till, page number 50. Then there will be a break. Then again, I will restart. And three times it happened. And then I decided, okay, enough of excuses. I'm going to finish this book. And then I finished this book and in the momentum, the next. Okay, going forward. Yes, so here's the plot and character. First of all, I will just introduce to the concept, which is the glad game. Okay. Uh, yes. So what is this glad game? The game consists of finding something to be glad about in every situation, no matter how bleak it may be. So chances may be very, very less. You will struggle to find out those reasons at times, but this is a game. This is a challenge. You have to really find something to be grateful about in each and every situation. And this is what both the books are all about. It is about the gratitude. Characters, Pollyanna, the lead character, she's at the start of this book, she was around 8 years. Aunt Polly, her aunt, or you can say mom's sister, she's there, she gets married in this particular, in the last book only, she gets married to the love of her life at quite a mid age, Dr. Clinton. Then Mr. Pendleton is another, neighbor in the city, small city of Beldingville, and he also lives alone. He is, interestingly, uh, the one who used to love Pollyanna's mother, but Pollyanna's mother went ahead with, marrying Pollyanna's father, right? So that's how he is quite hurtful, never gets married. Okay, Jimmy uh, and Della. Then there is another family of two sisters, which is Della and Ruth. Della knows Pollyanna because in the last book, Pollyanna met an accident, and with the help of Dr. Clinton, she goes to a sanatorium in Boston, where Della is a nurse, and she really takes good care of Pollyanna. And Pollyanna again comes back to the walking on her own feet, right? That was the power of gratitude, which was explained in the last book, right? And Mrs. Ruth Carew is somebody who is heartbroken, very rich woman, young widow, and she doesn't have any children, gets really, heartbroken when their elder sisters, Della and Ruth's elder sisters, only son gets missing. They are, after a lot of efforts, they are not able to find that boy. Jemmy seemingly is that lost boy. Sadia Dean is another character who is not really related to anybody by blood, but she is also a very important character. So I'll just give you a brief about the plot. Pollyanna, the magic pill. So after the first book of Pollyanna, she is actually treated as a magic pill because in the sanatorium also, she just spreaded, awareness because of this glad game. So she is called the magic pill. And because of that effect, Della, who was the nurse, remember in sanatorium, she actually asked Aunt Polly if she can send Pollyanna for some time during her winter vacations to Mrs. Carew to change her life, right? So she agrees, right? Uh, Ruth Karyu, she's very rude woman. She doesn't like anybody around. She will be sitting days together in the room. She was so ungrateful for everything, whatever she had, like filthy rich, but she doesn't like to see anybody. She's that character. So she says, okay, I will take her because you are telling me you're only one who is mine in this world, but only when she doesn't uh, preach me about anything related to gratitude. And Della says, fine. Any single day she does it, you send her back, right? So that was the deal. So Pollyanna at Carews in Boston. Glad game and lessons learned. She tries out all talking to strangers in public. She will be just on the streets to realize that it is not a small town. Boston is a very, very big city. And there can be quite a grave, repercussions of this, talking to the strangers as well. But that's how, she meets Jemmy, who is an handicapped boy. He meets an accident when he was around 4 years. Then again, he met with another accident, and it takes away the ability of his walking, right? So that's where he meets strangers once, friends forever. So Jemmy becomes the friend of Pollyanna. And there was another girl who was again very sad. So that was Sadia Dean. She also becomes a very good friend of Pollyanna. But as at that point in time, there were no contacts, nothing sharing. They never knew each other's address or something like that. Right. So yeah, so she learns the lesson. Then strangers, these two become very thick friend of her, and they meet again in the journey, right? Then what happens, like, because this is Jemmy and there is no proof that this Jemmy can be that lost Jemmy, Pollyanna is still, she is able to convince Ruth, right, Mrs. Ruth Karyu, that it can be Jemmy, right? And even if he is not, you would be helping another Jemmy to be at a safer place, and he can meet his dreams. And this Jemmy is really a gem. He is very intelligent boy. He has read all the books available to his pursue, right? And he actually gives the peanuts, which is for himself. He actually gives it to birds, and he names birds. Very interesting character. And he is also having a jolly book, which is quite, he was also playing the game of gratitude, but quite better than Pollyanna, right? So that's how they become very thick friend. And because she was able to convince Ruth, so they to find her purpose, and finally it happens that Mrs. Karyo does not only, take the custody of Jemmy legally, considering that he is the real Jemmy, but also she takes care of Sadia Dean also. She's an abundant girl, which is quite, unsafe in the world, works day to day to earn her living. So she actually not adopts, but opens a working woman home where Sadia Dean leads the efforts. So that's how Mr. and Mrs. Ruth finds her purpose, right? Now, again, Pollyanna they moved to Germany after coming back with Aunt Polly and Clinton. And then, they come back to Beldingville, after when actually Pollyanna becomes 20 years, fast forward, and she is in very bad phase of life, financial. She is not even able to meet her, ends meet, right? She's in a very bad patch because Dr. Clinton is also expired by that time. And then Pollyanna figures out, okay, let us have Carews, because Mrs. Carew was very ill at that time. She needed a weather change. So she also actually welcomes them to Harringston Homestead, which is Aunt Polly's palace. She was also very rich. And then it becomes quite a messy affair because it was a kind of love triangle. Jimmy thinks that Jimmy is one adopted by Mr. Pendleton, right? He adopts one and finds a purpose in the first book. So now Jimmy is also there. Jemmy also comes in because Carews are here, right? And then it happens like Jimmy thinks that Jemmy and Pollyanna care for each other, but Jemmy think it is Jimmy and Pollyanna, and all that happens. Then writing competition. Once Carews are back to their hometown, there is a writing competition which again Pollyanna wants to get in to earn her living. And she was so ungrateful by that time. She was finding it hard to be grateful about the things. She goes back to a person who she met in the first book and figures out that she was lacking that particular thing. So she was got reminded that you are missing the things. You made everybody realize, the whole town realize that what is the power of gratitude. They can be grateful. If they can't see, they can be grateful of the hearing power they have got. They can walk, right? So the lady actually makes her realize that she is lacking that magic pill which she has got, and she actually distributed to everybody. And now it is the time, even in the gravest of the situation, she should have her own magic pill, right? So that's why she realizes that, and at the end, all every confusion gets cleared, and finally they find the love of their life. Mr. Pendleton gets married to Ruth, and Jimmy is aligned with Pollyanna, and Jemmy is aligning with Sadia Dean. So that's the book, but it is very, I mean, I just said it in quite briefly, but it is a wonderful book. Okay, I just want to say a few quotes which were there in the book. The lonesomest place in all the world is in a crowd in a big city. That was said by Pollyanna about Sadia Dean. A long ago discovered that you can't tell about Pollyanna. The minute you try to, she sounds priggish and preachy and impossible. Yet you and I know she is anything but that. So she never preaches, and that is why Mrs. Ruth was never able to, uh, show the way. Troubles are the poor things to her. They have got too many prickers. You know, you know you never know how much you use things till you don't have them, and eyes too. Did you ever think what a lot you do with eyes? I didn't till I went to sanatorium. There was a lady there who had got blind the year before. I tried to get her to play the game, finding something to be glad about, but she said she couldn't. And if I wanted to know why, I might tie up my eyes with my handkerchief for just an hour. And I did. It was awful. Did you even try it? So that is the empathy. How do you inculcate that empathy? I don't see how you can find anything about this poor people business to be glad for. Of course, you can be glad for ourselves that we aren't poor like them. But whenever I'm thinking how glad I am for that, I get so sorry for them that I can't be glad any longer. Of course, we could be glad that they were poor folks because we could help them. But if we don't help them, then where's the glad part of that coming in, right? There's no reason. If you're not helping the poor people, there is no reason to be glad about what she's saying. The instrument that you play on Pollyanna will be the great heart of the world. And to me, that seems the most wonderful instrument of all to learn. Under your touch, if you are skillful, it will respond with smiles and tears as you will, right? So there's always something, always something in everything to be grateful for. That was my lesson. And this is my grateful thing. What we can do going forward, we can have a gratitude jar. Add a note every time you feel grateful towards a person, a thing, a situation, or anything under this sky, right? Have that grateful jar. This is the format to be grateful or express your gratefulness. I'm grateful you are my friend because, you know, the whole sentence and the reason why you are grateful for. I'm grateful you are my teacher because, you know, I'm grateful you are my neighbor because. Or if you're writing, I'm grateful so and so is my neighbor because, you know, this is a thank you letter which you should be writing quite often to your near and dear ones. This is a format, dear, thank you, and for what, and kind regard. Just 2 lines will do wonders. You will make somebody's day. And it will give you in return 2 times of the happiness which you have given to the other person. You know, feeling grateful for so many things about my boss, my city, whatnot. And there are so many reasons to be grateful about. And that had been my journey so far. I attended 30 days. What made me to go forward with my gratitude journey? I was in a pretty bad phase of my life in 2021. And then I got to attend 30 days free gratitude workshop with CFL, which is Coach for Life Surat, 4 times. It took me 4 months to get on terms and be able to complete all the exercises. It is online. It starts first of every month, free workshop. Morning 6 o'clock, it starts 7 o'clock, it ends. Uh, question answers run a little longer. Based upon the magic book of Rhonda Byrne, which is a workbook on gratitude. I'm sure many of you know about it. Implementation, how I do it, whatever I learned, I do write my blessings every single day, right? Whatever flows through at that moment in time. And 10 is the minimum, right? Follow practices from magic as and when I remember during the day, especially in the difficult times. So I count my steps. I will be scrolling fast and I will be saying thank you, thank you, thank you by remembering different people, things, and situations. Read more books and sharing with friends and family. And this is my thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you.
Thank you so much.
Was I too fast?
Wonderful. No, no. Yeah, Vasu, please go on.
Okay.
Yes, Mansi, you can go ahead.
Okay, okay. So I loved it personally. It was just amazing. I loved how you had designed the slides. They're so beautifully put together. You actually summed up with the story also very well, giving a background of the earlier, the initial book and this. And I think you used the time very well. And you did not go fast. You did not go slow. I feel you were perfect. And I personally got very much interested in this book now. Now I am looking forward to read it, and I think that's one of the purpose of all these efforts, and it was wonderful. And for now, for personally me, I have been listening a lot about and doing a lot of gratitude journals and all of that. But this jar concept plus the pointers and everything, the last slides that you have presented, they were like cherry on the cake. I loved everything that the way you have worked and prepared yourself for the presentation. So personally, I'm very much happy and contented with your presentation. So yeah, thank you for presenting this to us.
Thank you
And
so much, Mans.
yeah, and the gratitude thing, I think Shivani will be in a better position because she is an author of a book and
Yes.
she's the expert in the subject better than me to speak. But yeah, I'm really grateful that you did this book presentation for us, and it also shared one of the thing that instead of this, I love this part of the book that it is a fiction, but with a self-help and a wonderful message to it. So totally loved it, and this such kind of books do keep us engaging, and sometimes the impact they have on us than the just the self-help books is even bigger and greater, just like a movie or something. So you actually took us through a story, and I understand that the time was short, so you couldn't go in much details, but still, I feel you presented everything very well. So hats off, and hats off to you being able to present, like you're presenting one more book, right? So you're doing all that and having a small baby, and it's very inspiring as well. Like, thank you so much. Thank you for all these efforts. Thank you,
This
Akanksha.
is all I owe to FELD. I mean, there had not been any, bigger force than all the FELD members, how you keep me inspired.
Yeah, truly, truly, I agree. I'm so grateful to be part of this today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
yeah,
Mansi.
Shivani, you can take
Yeah,
over, and then maybe she can proceed with the other book.
yeah. So thank you, Mansi. And Akanksha, it was really, really wonderful explanation by you. And being like writing a book on gratitude, I have already known the story of Pollyanna. I have watched movie as well. So this comes as an addition, as you said, it is second edition of the book. So and you explained every concept, the story very wonderfully with the
Thank
graphical
you.
presentations as well. So hats off to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shivani. Means
And
really a lot.
major things got revised, and Like too do gratitude. I practice gratitude every single day, and it's now somewhere running in the background whenever I'm doing anything. So in my mind, the practices go on. So I'm also conducting like workshop this 2nd of October.
Oh,
So those who are
awesome.
interested can join also. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
be
I saw
deep
that note.
delving. Yeah, we will be deep delving into the gratitude practices. And
Sure.
your presentation was overall wonderful.
Thank you
And
so much.
I cannot find any flaws in your presentation. So everything you covered so well, even the visual part, the presentation, the way you clarified the concepts. So everything was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shivani. I'm so humbled to hear.
And PPT is also like very attractive. The theme of the PPT you have chosen, it's perfect with perfectly blend with gratitude.
Thank you so much.
And if you don't mind, do share the PPT in the group.
I'll do that. Absolutely. I'll do that. Thank
Sure.
you so much.
So I hope now everyone can like give marks to Akanksha as out of 10. What score they can give. So it would be better.
Yeah, you can
And
put it on the chat. Considering the paucity of
Vasuji,
time,
there is an added work for you to make an average of the marks, and
yeah,
then
that I will.
add up our marks as well.
Okay, considering the paucity of the time, let's go to the next and remaining feedback. We will take it at the end of the three
Sure.
presentation.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vasu.
And judges can be a bit brief next time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So this is the second book which I could finish, but at the same time, it is very, very elaborated book, right? So with the to the interest of time, I would be covering the first part of the book. It is again by the author who you all know as an expert in Chanakya's teachings, who is Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, right? He has written 8 books on Chanakya, and this particular book is quite general in nature. It talks about Chanakya in daily life, right? So Chanakya says that, okay, there are 3 particular facets of the life, which is, personal life, professional life, and family life, right? So any person to get balance in life, they have to have balance and achieve a minimum amount of mastery in all the 3 fields to be called successful in real terms. So I would be taking the personal life today. There are also quite many topics. So I'll just try to do justice with all of it, but it will be a little, faster. So it starts with different topics. It says, I'll take the first topic now. It is waking up, right? So it says that one should be actually, the minimum amount of time in bed should be the best time to be in bed is 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Yes. And if you are just making use of this particular time and you have to wake up, use these, minimum 6 hours of time, not 6 hours, 3 hours of time. And then after that, you can actually go for the power nap, right? So in the afternoon, you can go for the power nap of 1:30 to 3. If you are not feeling sleepy, you can just take a constructive break in that time, right? You should be waking up by music. Your sleep should be undisturbed like a baby. So do all the efforts to meet it. Also, there is an internal alarm, which is your mind. Once you become quite regular with your routine, you should actually make use of that internal alarm, which is your mind. Just try saying your mind that at what time you want to wake up. It will wake you up without an alarm clock, right? And most of us are having the external alarms. In that case, it should be the natural instrumental music. Wind chimes, the water or rain sound. Such should be the instruments and not the hard rock music, because that spoils the rhythm of the day, right? Second point, which is the music of the day. So Chanakya actually emphasizes a lot on the power of music. So he says that according to the time and the mood and the activity you are getting into, there should be a matching music to it, but the whole day should be aligned with music, different types and there's different rhythms and different pace of the music. So morning should always be the slow pace because you're just getting into the day, and it should be the very natural, calming and instrumental kind of music. Whereas the afternoons, when you're getting into, suppose, the power nap, it should be the rest kind of mood should be set in. And in that case, it should be the soft music, right?
Akanksha, are
When,
you sharing your screen? Sorry to interrupt
oh,
you.
I'm not. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I was sharing, maybe it didn't take the whole screen. Apologies. Are you able to see it now?
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. I'll just quickly take this, the first topic, which was waking up, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll continue with the music of the day. We are into the personal life. Two more are there, but we are just going ahead with this. Afternoon, rest. When it is rest, you should be going ahead with the soft music. But when you are getting into the action mode, suppose exercise, or you are in a plant like Vasu, and you want, our people to get the best of the best, then it should be the fast-paced music. Time for thinking. So most of us are confused about the clear thinking and worrying. So clear thinking is quite logical in nature, right? It moves you forward, but worrying is like a rocking chair, right? It gives you enough to think about, but you're just rocking and rolling at the same place. You're not moving ahead. So that is why worrying is comparable to that. So stop worrying, actually get into the clear thinking mode. There should be the proper time for that. So morning when you're waking up, it should be the time of the mindset routines. What all you should be doing: affirmations, gratitude, visualizations, a few more practices people do, right? Meditation. All those things should be done when you're waking up so that your mind is in the right frame, right? After that, you should be going into the prioritization piece. Some people do go for it one day in advance. So plan your day tomorrow, or plan your day today. So you are going to plan your tomorrow today. Then at the bedtime, you are going to review what you decided versus what you have achieved. And if there is a plan of action, what would it be? You are going to journal about it, right? So that is the bedtime routine. And then after that, there was very good quote which I wanted to put it: plan out your work and plan and work out your plan, right? So both the ways it should be done. That is why we are prioritizing also, and then we are reviewing it also. We are scheduling it also, and we are then reviewing it also. Fourth is goal, health. So like any other goal, you should be setting very clear cut smart goal. Then you should find a teacher who is an expert in that particular field, who would be helping you what all holistically how to cover that particular topic, and then surrender to the teacher, accept the authority, so that you can always move in the right direction. And I think these all three are actually applicable to all the goals possible. Next one is the daily rituals. So Chanakya says that rituals are something which you would be doing time wise, right? Because there is a lot of focus on the time, right? Like how we say in Hindi, peher, right? So in the morning, again, it is a time to connect with the nature. So even a king is said that before starting his day, he should be going and see the cow and, all the things available in the nature, right? So that there is connect already established. Nature is the thing where we all belong. So that establishing that connect is very much important. Afternoons are generally for hobby, which is recreational purpose. It should be spent, some time should be spent for reading. So that's where, Mansi's efforts come into the picture, where every afternoon they are reading, right? You can think of a new project, like if you want to buy a car or you want to start your side hustle. This is the time where you should be spending few minutes, half an hour, thinking about it or planning for it. Use mind map for the same. You can meet different people, because there is the real time learning when you're meeting different people. And or if you want to go back, you can actually get into the rest mode, which is power nap, right? So that's how your afternoon should be spent. Let it become a habit. So what all rituals you're defining, right? Be very flexible with deciding your rituals. Not every ritual is beneficial for everybody. The effect is different. So decide on your rituals. Let it become your habit. And then you get into the habit of self-discipline mode. It will become a part of you, like how we are not really, paying any attention on brushing our teeth. Astrology. So again, Chanakya speaks about the astrology also. Some people might be against it also, but what Chanakya says that study astrology, at least the basics of it. Try small tips which comes into the newspaper or websites, and then make it a use to take the hint of your day or any important task you are getting into. But always, always, always go by your inner wisdom. Don't totally rely on the astrology. Next is study daily, which is become a lifetime learner, like how most of us are, right? Get the the hunger of knowledge. It should not be driven by any exams, certifications, or deadlines, right? There should be the love of books, which must be inculcated since the childhood, right? One should attend the seminars related to his or her own field or hobbies they want to pursue. And you should always, always, always make notes so that you can always come back, refer to it. You can share your knowledge also. A part of it we are also doing right now. Your swadharma means the natural talent you are born with, right? So observe yourself. How do we really identify? Observe yourself. What gives me the happiness, right? What is something which I forget the track of the time when I'm into it, right? It can be writing puzzles, singing. What is it, right? Do the self check and try to find out the patterns. When you are in the low mood, what is that one particular thing you do which lifts your mood, right? Which is a natural mood lifter for you. That will give you a hint of your swadharma, self nature, right? Check with the experts. Like once you have identified, then check with the experts. Like Sachin was taken to coach Ramakant Archery, right? So if the coach had not been there, what do you think where Sachin would have been? So the coach is always, always, always very important, and make it an ambition. Try it all out, like how Sachin did. Then only you will be doing justice with all the natural talented you are blessed with. Daily timetable. So in a school and college, what was there? You were given a defined curriculum, right? Now it is not there. So what we should be doing, right? We have to define what do we want to achieve aligned with our goals. Once we define what, we need to break it down to find out how many hours of efforts is needed, right? Then refine it, because it's not like you are into one particular goal. It means in that particular phase of your life only that goal is going to be there. No, right? So you have to balance all the other fields, right? push through the you have to push through initially, because it will be very hard to make time for it. Like I am struggling with making reading as my consistent time efforts. So I have to literally push through it, right? I'm trying to come out of my comfort zone or my excuses. I want to become bigger than my excuses, right? So that's why I have to push it till it becomes my nature, right? See the progress. Then you will feel more confident and in control, self control, right? And alter it as you grow. So don't prioritize your schedule, but schedule your priorities. That should be the agenda. Meditation. Meditation is nothing to but to find the calm. That should be the purpose. That is all. How do we do it as a beginner? Sit quietly, relax yourself, say affirmations to calm yourself, observe your mind, ask for help from element. Say that you want to do that. Can you please help me in calming my mind? Thoughtfulness will not thought thoughtlessness will not be achieved in no time, but if you are consistent, it will happen, right? So no mind just sleeping, just just sleeping in that time, right? Keep on trying every single day. You will become better at it, right? Food. How do go for the shopping at the time of a king? Actually, it was a time when the your head chef will be the main chef will be knowing each and everything about the food till its source, right? Now we are not knowing. So what should we be doing? We have to go for the shopping, shop the ingredients, listen very carefully the conversation between the seller and buyer, the source, economics and demand and supply, all the fields you will start understanding. And then to connect well with your food, start making something, right? Self-discipline. Self-discipline is nothing but one doing whatever pleases him does not achieve anything. So the dopamine release we are into, the kind of reels we say, actually we are getting quite disconnected with our own self, right? So one doing whatever pleases him does not achieve anything in life, right? So we have to be very clear about it. Have a clear agenda and goal, then go for the accountability. Once you have the accountability in the picture, then you have somebody to answer to, right? And with that fear, may it be the public, may it be the group, more you are accountable, more you declare yourself out, there would be more probability that you are going to achieve your goal, right? Try on your own. Once this accountability thing starts working on, after that you try to get into the independent mode, right? Self-dependent mode. Try on your own. You will become self-motivated. Once you achieve this self-motivated, you are actually inspiration to others. So do the same thing of accountability to others. You know, then find your patterns. It means that like the nature has got pattern, right? 24 hours we are having, day and night. It is divided into the 8 parts, like how we say prayer, right? So should schedule priorities and get them into the 90 minutes of slot, right? And then you list your goals, prioritize them, and again put a time limit, right? I like one pomodoro, you can take it as a 90 minute slot. That is the natural size of each peher. So your body is quite aligned with the 90 minutes. It can't focus more than that. So that is why they say that do it in a chunk, decide your goal very clearly, and then just focus on one chunk at a time, one chunk of 90 minutes. Include everything: exercise, family, reading, self-care, because we are the people of balance. All the fields are important in life. It is not only your goal, your professional, personal, whatever. So you have to make balance with it, because life is not in sequence, it is in parallel, right? Creative hobby. So generally we think that hobby is a pastime, but it is not pastime. It is a serious affair, right? So it is very important that you always look for the upgrade in hobby. Try everything, try new every single time. Give it time regularly, and it can be the source of your income. So you should always strive the best, the next level in every hobby you also pursue, right? Personal finances. So Chanakya says a lot about it. There are 4 parts to it. Wealth identification, your unique challenges there, right? What we just talked about. That is your inner wealth. So once you start focusing on your inner wealth, it will give you money by product. You don't have to worry about it. Get educated on it, right? Learn from the experts so that it can be taken to the next level. Wealth creation, explore more possibility, be in the alert mode, right? Wherever the opportunity comes, you have to just jump on it on time. And showing up is so very important, right? That calls for, your perception on people. Wealth management. It's not only the identification and creation which is important. You have to manage that wealth as well. So invest, take professional help, right? Plan for bad days in your good days, right? And wealth distribution. Don't be miser. Once you have got the money, it is your responsibility to get into the circulation. So do the personal social responsibility. So that is about the personal finance. If any of it is lacking, one cannot be cannot be wealthy at any point in time. Life plan. So there are 4 houses, right, or 4 phases of life, which is a student life, 0 to 25 years. We should be getting the best education, where the best teachers are there. Not necessarily the very expensive kind of education. Householders life, where 25 to 50 years is considered, where if you're having the most important partner in this journey is your spouse. So if your spouse is a good friend, this journey is going to be very, very smooth. Retired, you should have just grandchildren, the fun with your grandchildren, guidance only when it is asked, and you should have the detachment. And then the last 25 years, which will be 75 to 100 years, there should not be any regrets. There should not be any unfulfilled desires. You should just get into the monk life, become an institution, do something
Akanksha,
extraordinary.
speed up, 3 minutes left.
Do something extraordinary, inculcate the thirst of knowledge. So if you are not having your own institution, then teach in any existing one, but it is your duty to share your knowledge, right? Create system and processes so that there are realistic ideas which you are putting into the universe. It should be implementable also. It should flourish. That is why you should have the system. Write a book, tell your story. Who will read my book? Stop that voice altogether, right? Learning journal before before bed. So you can just start noting down what have you learned through the day just before the bed. And documented knowledge is the permanent knowledge. So that is why there is a lot of focus on becoming an institution. Personal guru, just like to Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya was there, right? So that is why just make a list where your genuine interest lies, but you have to become an achiever in it. Find a guru. What is needed to excel in that particular field? Find out the skills and then research on those skills and who are the best people, and then become the student of that particular person. When a student is ready, the guru arrives, right? We have learned that from Kung Fu Panda as well. Attend a course, put extra efforts, right? Seek and you will find. That is the main panda in this particular topic. Be in touch always with your guru, excel in that particular field, and then it is now your turn to teach or become a mentor to someone else. Practical philosophy. It is not philosophy which is not non-practical. The real one is the philosophy. You dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Those are the four things, four parts of the philosophy. Dharma says do good no matter what. When in conflict, always go for reasoning, investigate, and follow the next step. Take advice of the expert, but even with that, if your heart is not convinced, then follow your heart, right? Artha is nothing but the meaning or purpose of life. Kama is more detailed here, which is do it in the dharmic manner with hard-earned money. Then any pleasure or desire fulfilling is quite justifiable, right? Earn with integrity. Path of shares, which is shortcuts, and which is the good path of good, and path of prayers, which is actually the shortcuts. Never follow the shortcuts. That is the longest way to success. Spend with compassion, right? And then have luxuries, but still have that spirituality in your heart. That is Raja Rishi, right? And friends, right? They are no replacement of money. Friends make you more rich, not money. So that is to be considered. And you can go for any luxuries if you're meeting just these two conditions and people are with you. Ultimate happiness, that is the moksha, the last phase, but it is not, away from your duties. So the first thing is perform your worldly duties first. Know that, and after that, even you excel at that, know that world is not enough, right? Take the leap of faith when you have to jump into the monk mode to grab the entirety of the spirituality. So that is the ultimate happiness. Yeah. So So the other two of it, like the professional life and the family life, I would be taking in the, following FELD sessions based upon the interest of audience. Yes.
ఓకే, తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ఆ వాక్ అయిపోయాను. I have got muted
Okay.
in the presentation. Thank you so much. Yeah, judges, quickly, yeah?
Yeah, Shivani, you want to go first now, please?
Go first.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. I can't find the panel. So, yeah, wonderful presentation, Akanksha, for this book as well. And the mind map was awesome. It was just it was taking a little longer. So that thought came to my mind as well. Meanwhile, Vasuji reminded you that 3 minutes are remaining. And you well rounded up within the time limit. So congratulations for presenting 2 books today. And it seems like a marathon who is reading more. And definitely this will inspire more and more people to read more. And um, Uh, Good luck, Vasuji, to you for conducting this game uh, involving this gaming element into reading. So, congratulations to you too. Over to Mansi.
Yeah,
Thank you,
hi. Hi,
Shannon.
Akanksha. I just wanted to say hats off that you chose different styles for different books and you were able to present them very well. So wonderful. I love that approach. And
Thank you so
one
much.
thing I just have a small suggestion. Like for this, I feel I'm not sure like if it is okay to present a part book, but if you could have just elaborated like not elaborate on the sub points more, maybe you would have presented the book in a in an overview of the book and rather than take because it was a time constraint today, otherwise it was wonderful to know all of that, and then you would have been able to share more about your learnings and experiences in the limited time. That is just one thing that I felt which could have been a also an option for today, but otherwise I loved the book and everything that you presented and the way you presented, and I'm very much looking forward to read it myself now. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mansi.
Okay, wonderful. One more person can give their opinion quickly, and they should be shortened within 1 minute
Can I
before we
ask
go to the
one
next
question?
contest.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, Manish.
Yeah, I have a question for Kansha ji. Thank you. Everything looked very wonderful, and thank you for your effort. We can see that effort you have put in. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Manish.
And I have one question in the earlier book, like on the gratitude. So what I
Sure.
want to know is in that book, is there anything specific or anything separate in gratitude that we can gather from that book? Like, I'm just curious to know that.
It is actually the way, I mean, you can say that it is gratitude in practice, right? I mean, we hear the guidelines, how we should be grateful and what all things we should be following in. But at the same time, if there is a, a character in real sense to who you connect well, right? Because it is a story, it is fiction. And then you see how that particular person is applying the gratitude in his or her own life, right? So that gives you a different kind of idea. Okay, yeah, the similar condition happens in my life too. Okay, maybe I can tweak a bit here, you know, like she gets ungrateful and then she suddenly say, but I'm grateful for, you know, like saying that it is raining for so many days, but I'm grateful for that I'm safe and sound in my home, you know.
Mm.
So it is like the application of gratitude, what we can say. And it is non-preachy way of teaching, right? Where somebody is just not telling you how to do that, but it is like how that person is doing and you're learning out of it. The passive way of teaching.
There's one incident in the book one wherein Pollyanna is expecting that she will get some gift, and when she opens the box or something, that they realize that there are scratches in that particular box. And when she opens and sees that she's unhappy, naturally, she's a small girl, less than 5 at that time. And her father says, "You are so lucky. You should be glad that you are not, you don't need to use them." And as she grows up, as the book goes ahead, there are different situations wherein if I was in that place, I would run away from life, maybe look into suicidal tendency kind of thing. The way Pollyanna changes her mood and says how glad it is to be is what we have to learn. So it's a book worth reading, and there will be people who are that much emotional, they may shed tears by the end of book one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
so much,
Rajeshwari.
Vasu, for writing.
A very warm good evening to one and all present over here. Today I am sharing the major learning from the book Ichigo Ichie. Before starting my presentation, I would like to thank Vasu sir and Mansi also and her wonderful team, Sakina, Pallavi, and Mani Selvi, who inspired me to read this book, Ichigo Ichie, as they used to read with that. Mansi has started the group and she used to read, and Mani Selvi used to share her learning on daily basis. So somewhere by seeing that learning, I got inspiration to read this book. And today I'm ready with the presentation. The name of the book is Ichigo Ichie. And the writer of this book is Hector Gracia and Francis Miralles. As you know, they have co-authored the famous self-book Ikigai also. And they have expressed about the Japanese way of leading a peaceful and successful life. And in this book also, Ichigo Ichie, they have shared the Japanese way of enjoying the life, enjoying the present moment. Meaning of Ichigo Ichie. Meaning of Ichigo Ichie is once a meeting, the present moment, or an opportunity. What happened, my dear friends? In each and every day, we go through so many moments, so many events, and it comes and goes. The writer, the main motto of this book, or through this book, the writer want to explain that each and every moment of our life is very important. We should be in the awareness mode and we should enjoy, because whatever we are going through, any event or any opportunity or any moment, we are not going to get that moment once again. Whatever comes in life, it comes for a single time. And if we are not aware, if we are not in the present moment, we will slip. It will slip from our hand and we will regret forever. So this is the main motto of this book. The current uses of Ichigo Ichie, the Japanese people use the learning of this book in two major situations. The first one is when meeting a stranger for the first time. As we know, whenever we travel to unknown places, what happened, we could not find our correct destination. So we need the help of someone. And if someone comes and help us to reach our destination or to find something, we must tell that person that because of you, I could get this. You are the savior. You are my savior. For me, this is the wonderful experience of my life. So we can tell that person. This is the first use when we are meeting with the strangers, and it happens in our day-to-day life, especially while traveling to unknown places. And the second use of this Ichigo Ichie is meeting with the acquaintance, or to emphasize that every occasion is very unique. On regular basis, we are meeting with the friends, with the relatives, or with our colleagues. So each and every moment is very special. We should be in the awareness mode. We should enjoy that moment. This book also starts with the story of the Gate of Shambhala, where the Tibetan explorer is illustrating that there was a hunter and he was proceeding with a deer to the frozen mountain. And in that mountain, there was a crack from that crack, a person can go to the other side. An old man was standing at the gate of the Shambhala, and he asked the hunter that just look look opposite side of the mountain, what you see. The hunter was very amazed that other side of the mountain, he saw a very wonderful garden. He was highly mesmerized with the sight of the other side of the mountain. And kids were playing in that garden, river was flowing, the birds were chirping. So each and everything was very beautiful. And he was really mesmerized and was feeling very amazing and very happy. So the old man asked him, why don't you go? There is a passage and you can go and enjoy that moment. But what the hunter said, let me go to my house. I will just tell my friend about this place, and then I will call my friends, my family members, then I will enjoy. And because of this answer, the old man got annoyed also that my dear friend, our life is based on the choices. It's now or never. If you want to enjoy, you can enjoy now. Again, you will not be able to enjoy this moment. So in our day-to-day life, it happens that the opportunity comes, and if we are not in the awareness mode, somewhere we are going to miss. So this is how the story of Ichigo Ichie starts. This book is divided into three parts. Three major parts are there. The first part is enjoying the beauty of impermanence. Here, I got to know about the two terms, very beautiful term, Kaika and Mankai. So in this book, as we know, in the Japan, people enjoy there is a major festival, Sakura, or you can say very important days where the cherry blossom at that time, and people, those who are working in the offices or in different part of the Japan, they just enjoy this moment. They just take the leave, they just go out of their offices and enjoy the Sakura moment, the cherry trees and the flowers. So when we are in the peace or in the enjoyment mode, something begins in our mind, or some idea comes, that is called kaika. When something unknown begins to blossom, it's called kaika. And when the idea comes in our mind and we work on it during the time phases that we get, somewhere we get the passion, ikigai, and after that ikigai plus kaika and time, it turns into mankai. Mankai means what has been born inside us, it matures and unfolds to its full potential. So here what I'm trying to tell, that when you are in the peace mode, in the peaceful mind state, something begins in you. So it's a duty of a human being, whatever comes in your mind, we must work on it and take it to the next level, or we must fulfill it. In this first part, our emotion has been described in four major parts. And according to the time, as we know, we live in three time zones: the past moment, the present moment, and the future. Basically, human have four emotions: anger, sadness, happiness, and fear. So if you are angry on someone, or if something is not going as per your choices, or have some conflict and you are angry, so you are in the past moment. If you are sad, if you have as we know, in our day-to-day life, somewhere ups and downs comes, and we experience sad moment also. If we lose someone, our loved ones, we experience sad. So at that time also we are living in the past moment. Suppose a player has won a match and he enjoyed that moment, he shares his happiness with his other team members, he hugs him. So all these are moment of happiness. So happiness represent the present time, the now time. And if we are highly worried and fearful for achieving anything for our career or for other things in our lives, somewhere we are living in the future. Here the writer has explain a very wonderful to get out of this emotion, some key phrases he has shared. To achieve this, and every time you feel unhappy, you have to translate it like this. Are you angry? You are living in the past. Come back. You can use the key phrase, come back. Are you sad? You are living in the past. And the key phrase you can use for it is wake up. Are you afraid? You are living in the future. You can use the key phrase come back. So this was the best thing that I learned. So by using these key phrases, we can come in the present moment. Other major learning from this book is from part 1 is hedonic treadmill. Once our desire is fulfilled, again we feel unsatisfied and automatically we want one step ahead of us. We go through this hedonic treadmill. When I was a housewife and I thought that when I will be doing job, I will feel very good, each and everything will settle down in my life. But when I joined the job, I became the teacher. Somewhere again, something started deep inside me. No, this is not my destination. I want something more in my life. So it happens. Whatever you will get, you will achieve. At that time, you will feel happy and satisfied. Again, some emptiness will come in your life. So that is called hedonic treadmill. Then one more beautiful learning from this book is the butterfly impact. Any change, no matter how small, ends up creating completely different circumstances due to amplification. So each and every day, if you are taking any small action in the right direction or in the wrong direction, it will impact you. As we have read in the compound effect, so we get each and everything in the compound effect. The results we get it in compound effects if you are taking the good action or the bad action. And then it's never too late to bloom. We can do each and everything in any phase of our life, whether you are young, whether you are old. So age is just a number. The best gift that we can give to ourselves is the moment of the present moment. In this book, Zen style of meditation has been also explained. It is also a very wonderful style where you are sitting in a very calm place and closing your eyes. Whatever the thoughts is coming, you are not paying attention. So this type of meditation is in this book I got the chance to know about. I will explain also a very wonderful meditation in other slide. Then appreciating the pain. As we know, in day-to-day life, we go through so many challenges. The ups and downs come. What we have to do, we have to appreciate the pain. Means we have to accept the situation as it is coming to us by thinking that it is giving me some learning. In this book, one story has been shared of second arrow. Here, Buddha asked his disciple that suppose someone hits you with the first arrow, will you feel the pain? The disciple said, yes, I will feel the pain. Then he asked, the second arrow comes and hits you, will you feel the pain? The disciple said, yes, I will feel the pain. The Buddha explained that the first arrow is the circumstances of our life that is not in our control. We can't do anything. Just for like that, the weather changes is not in control. The birth of a child or death of our loved ones is not in our control. And day-to-day mishappenings or other things are not in our control. Who will come in power is also not in our control. Whether I will get good results or bad results, I don't know. So all these things are not in our control. So all this comes under the first arrow. The second arrow, if we are thinking so much what is happening in our life, if we are reacting on the things and we are not responding, so that somewhere we human make our pain or we increases the circumstances more by thinking, by paying more attention on that this is not happening, by complaining more in life. So that is the story, the second arrow. Then next learning of my is spending a lot as we feel we are mortals creature. As a human, we feel that we have taken birth and we are not going to leave this world. Means somewhere we are procrastinating a lot. And in day-to-day life, we do lot of spending. So here the author wants us to tell that just be limited, try to be in limit. Whatever you are earning, wisely we should spend it. We are not motor creatures. 8 Gen lessons for an Ichigo Ichie life. This is also the wonderful lesson, and I just loved it. The first lesson is just sit and see what happens with no further ambition. Here, the writer is telling us that we should sit silently and see what is happening with no further ambition. Each and every day we encounter something goes in our mind. Okay, after this and that, I will achieve this. But he is telling that just be in the present moment and no need to have the further ambition. And then second lesson is savor this moment as if were our last breath. Avoid distraction. Now in this world, we are highly distracted, even though we get the chance to connect a lot, but in this highly connected world, we are highly distracted. And then the fourth lesson is free ourselves from everything which is not essential. It happens that we have cluttered ourselves with so many things, which I found it is not very essential in our day-to-day life. Then also we are going collecting and collecting. So while choosing a friend or while deciding anything, we must be careful that whether it is essential or not. Mostly in buying the things, be your own friend. The best thing that we can give to ourselves is our own friendship, celebrating our imperfection. We know that somewhere we have that imperfection in us. We must celebrate that imperfection. And on this also a very beautiful story is shared in the book, that is of the broken pot. There was a water bearer, and on daily basis he used to carry water in 2 pots. One pot was in a good condition and the second pot was broken. So every day what he used to do, he used to carry the water on daily basis to his house. And the pot which was broken, somewhere the water used to flow. And because of that, that broken pot used to feel very guilty. One day he told his master that I don't feel somewhere I am not doing justice with my own responsibility. Then also you are not leaving me, but I'm not happy. Then the water bearer told him that I know you are not perfect, but because of that water which is dripping from you, it is giving water to the plants that I have planted on the way from river to my house. And now you can see so many beautiful flowers has come out from that plant. So we must celebrate our imperfection also. Practicing the love and compassion means self-love with us, and let go of our expectation. Somewhere expectation gives us more pain. So we must have the expectation more from ourselves rather than from others. In part 2, this book is teaching us to apply all our sense organs. Art of listening, art of touch. In art of listening, the writer is telling that when someone comes to you, at that time, what you should do, you should leave each and every work and listen to that person with the good posture. Your ear, you should be on his or her words. Then we should have an eye contact with that fellow. Art of touch. Whatever we are seeing in our day-to-day life, we are not paying much attention. Something randomly comes to our mind and we are lost in somewhere. So he's telling that whenever we are going to the nature, must touch the stones or the pebbles or the flowers, leaves, or just pat the animals. Art of seeing. Here also the writer is telling to use our eyesight properly. When you are seeing something, just see each and every detail. If you are seeing an object, see each and every detail. If you are watching some movie, see each and every detail, which will enhance our seeing. Then art of mindful eating. As we know, we have 5 taste words. So proper use of that. Whether the food is sweet, salty, sour, we must pay full attention. Art of smelling. Here, the writer is telling that on daily basis, smell some fragrance, keep in bottle, and early in the morning you can take. So it will enhance your mood also. So in part 2, the writer is telling us, guiding us to use all our sense organs. And in the part 3rd, in the last, the writer is telling us how to enjoy our, how to apply the Ichigo Ichie. I'm just sharing, I have not made the slide. I'm just sharing the how to use the Ichigo Ichie in our lives. So first
2
of all,
minutes left.
I will just explain this.
Yeah. 2 minutes are left.
Okay. So I'm just telling 1-2 lines. So don't postpone special moments. Live as if this were going to happen only once in your life. Dwell in the present. Do something you have done before and notice the coincidence that is happening in your life. Practice mindfulness in your daily life. So this was the use of the Ichigo Ichie. And then the best thing that I found in this book was what if question. So we know in we mostly get stuck in some of the situations. So here 3 situations are given. I'm reading quickly. I have been bored by my job for a while and don't know what to do. What would happen if I took a leave of absence or saved enough to leave for a few months and allowed myself to explore other possibilities? This is the first situation. My partner and I are constantly arguing. Sometimes we even avoid speaking to each other so that we don't have to fight. What would happen if we played the game Island of Harmony, which challenges you not to think or say anything negative, either to complain or to rebuke each other for as long as the session lasts. I am having a crisis. I feel unsatisfied with my life, but I don't know why. What would happen if I allowed myself to be someone else or even many other people for the next few months? So this is the situation, and you have to use what if question with yourself. So when we use this what if, somewhere the creativity rises and we think the other. I'm sharing today my own experience. I was totally has got exhausted while doing continuous work on Sunday also, Saturday also. So I took a break and I realized that it was very essential. So I applied what if I took a break for today, or I take the leave. Nothing very bad will happen in the school, or nothing very bad will happen in my locality also. It is very essential. So I just applied what if. This is the Ichigo Ichie formula that we can use in our day-to-day life. We can use at a workplace. We can celebrate our life, and in the company of good people, mindfulness, timelessness, inspiring the place. So here in the book, Japanese always have the habit of going to the community, doing party and all small parties, and they are cherishing the present moment. So we can also do that. We humans have the ability to create, learn, and adapt. So we must apply these power of ours. And the best thing that I would like to tell you, that each and every moment is very precious. So hunt that present moment of yours. And the last lesson that I would like to share, which is the best learning for me, seize the moment. Each and every moment is very precious. We are not going to get again in our life. So this is the best learning and the motto of the book. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rajeshwari. Wonderful. Slides are very beautiful, and the way you put it is also good.
It's just because of you, Vasu sir, somewhere you asked me why you are not participating. So somewhere it motivated me.
Okay, to the judges now.
Shivani, you taking it? Okay. Okay, I'll just go first. Okay, Rajeshwari, I loved your presentation and I'm so grateful you took this book. I'm so happy to see it presented. And it was wonderful. You covered and summarized everything very, very well. You almost tried to cover all the concepts. In fact, I remembered the tea ceremony and some of the things even got reminded for me. So it was beautiful. The presentation and efforts were all seen. Just a small feedback which I felt, it's very personal, but I feel if that helps. So I feel if you could have put the pointers a little instead of the sentences, if you could just put the highlights or something and added some images to this slides, that would have made it more engaging and interactive, and a little bit of voice modulation, if that would have added a little more of an a taste to it even further. Otherwise, it was totally good. I loved it, and I could remember all the book, and it was wonderful. I'm very sure you must have inspired many of us here, others who had not read it yet. So thank you for picking this book, and thank you for presenting it and going through it so deeply and so wonderfully. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mansi.
Yeah, Rajeshwari, you presented very well, and it was really insightful and lovely presentation. I missed the last part. I actually got on another call. So, but initially I heard you, and it was like wonderful. So you covered most of the points so beautifully, and even I haven't read this book, so got a glimpse into what it carries. And thank you for presenting. So
Thank you,
with these
Shivani.
initiatives, we read more than one book with
Yes,
all
yes.
each one of us. So by sharing, we read more than one book.
I
Yes.
think this is
I
the wonderful thing that we are doing because of someone else is reading and we are presenting here. So we are getting the gist of so many books. So because of that,
Yeah,
I love
Very
this
true.
community.
Very
it's a
true.
wonderful effort.
And
Yeah, thank
sometimes
you, Raj.
in just one session, we get to know about 4 or 5 books. So that's a wonderful thing. I think Rajeshwari, you only posted on LinkedIn some time before that beautifully summarized the session summary and that we have covered all the 4 or 5 books.
Yes,
Rajeshwari or
yes.
Soumya, somebody. I think you only,
Yes, I have shared.
right?
Yes.
So that was wonderful. So even if somebody has not attended the sessions so nicely with your post, uh, that person can get the glimpse of all the books and what lessons it holds. So thank you.
I just want to add one thing. I loved how you presented that part about the emotions and the what if part. So they're very interesting and they could be like life changing things, and you really put them very beautifully in your presentation and explained about them. So yeah, that's just one thing I forgot to share.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's from the ladies to the gents. Yes, Manish.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everybody. Let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
No,
One second. So
yes,
you can see that now, right? So shall I start?
yes,
Yes.
please.
Yeah, actually, hello everybody. I've kept my presentation very simple because I'm doing it for the first time after a very, very long time. And due to some reasons, I didn't, I have not used presentation PPT from a long time. So maybe I will try next time. I'll do it in a better way. But I'll just try to focus on the important points from this book, like the special characters and what is the meaning out of that, and how we can connect those characters to our daily life and take the learning out of it. So I found this book very interesting, and I was very well able to connect all the things in this book to my life, to my personal life, like how my life journey has been, and what I did and what I didn't do, and there is so much that I can relate to my own life and the life I see around us. So I found this book very interesting, and it is very simple to understand, and how the author has put everything. It is so simple to understand, so inspiring, so detailed. Overall, I say it is a very, very, very nice book. So, okay, I'll start. I'll just go through little things, and then I'll share my learning out of it, and like do my presentation. So this is a book by Spencer Johnson. It is both an inspirational and a cautionary story that revolve around four characters: Sniff and Scurry. They are two little mice, and Hem and Haw. They are two little people. They all are of the same size. So basically, how this story came into picture was that some some college friends, they met for a reunion in Chicago, and they were, after their dinner, they sat to discuss everything, what is going on in their life and all those things, and they all of them shared their own experience, like how they were in college and how they moved through in business, job, what was their experience, what they did, what was their learning, what was their, like, both good and bad areas of life, all those things. So they nicely related their own story with these four little characters. So Sniff and Scurry are two mice, and Hem and Haw, or they are two little people, all of them same size. So basically, they all four characters live in a maze, and they search for a cheese. Search for a cheese means they're looking for happiness in life. Like some are looking for, like a good business, good job, or like finding a good house, a good car, stuff like that. So what happens is that they daily start their day in the morning and go to the maze to find the cheese. And they were enjoying their cheese on a daily basis, all four characters. So it all goes along every single day. So so what happened is, like every day passing, like the two little mice, they were able to see the small changes in the cheese, the size of the cheese, the smell of the cheese. So they were very able to see that. So they were focusing on that, like sniffing and going to the maze at very early in the morning, just like that. But the other two people, Ham and Haw, they were like little late for the going to the maze, because they were thinking that it is just granted for them, and they are going to find the same cheese every day, just like that. So they were becoming too arrogant and like taking everything granted, and they got too comfortable. So the thing is, when we get too comfortable with the things, then we start putting effort to carry that work, and slowly we become like little out of the way, or little obsolete. So that's how it is goes. So so day by day, they was feeling the cheese was like changing its size, and it was feeding up and things like that. So Ham and Haw discover a vast source of cheese and settle into a life of predictable comfort. Like I just told you, too comfortable, too granted, too arrogant. So they say that the cheese belongs to them and nothing's going to change. So they were so comfortable, and they were not sniffing on the cheese and not looking for any changes and ever-changing cheese patterns. So one day, what happened was the cheese disappeared. So Ham and Haw got very devastated. Hey, where is my cheese? Where the cheese has gone? It all belonged to us, and how this can happen to us? They start blaming everything, and it just felt that the world has went upside down for them, and they just started blaming and fearing the unknown. Okay, but what happened is, like, the other two me's, they were just, because they were sniffing the cheese every single day, so they were noticing the changes every next day, that something is changing. So what happened is that when they didn't find the cheese, they automatically realized that, kept it simple, and then went out in the maze to find a new cheese. So this didn't come as a surprise to them. But for Ham and Haw, it was like full of surprise. Like, like the world has gone upside down for them. So this is how it goes. So phases in the story is that there is a cheese station C, and where they used to go to enjoy cheese every day and felt happy and satisfied every single day. And one day the cheese vanishes. As I told you, sniff and spray, they were suspecting that the supply was dwindling, it was going down, it was changing its smell, so they were ready for a change. So the cheese, when the cheese vanished, it didn't come any surprise for them. So they know what they need to do. So what they did is like, they did find the cheese, okay, let's go and find a new cheese. So they kept it simple and just went out for find a new cheese. But the other two guys uh, like what is Ham and Haw, they were very shocked. They were just repenting on what happened and like just blaming everything for that. Like why the cheese has happened just like that. They kept on breaking the walls of the cheese station just to do anything what is possible to find the cheese. They just kept thinking that okay, that's the same cheese we will find again tomorrow. So it is going to come back to us. So they were not thinking anything beyond that and went in despair every single day. So, but the meals, they went to the maze and they kept on searching for the new cheese and things like that. And slowly they found the cheese that they were looking for. So this is how it is goes. So the vanishing of the cheese is a powerful metaphor for unexpected changes in life. Like in our day-to-day life, like we get surprises, small or big. Like in our world also, we come to have that like you like whenever you're in a business, because I'm into business, I moved from job to business just to explore life, explore other opportunities. So I find a surprise every single day. I talk to 20 people, 30 people every single day, and my life is full of surprise. So surprise for me is like a friend to me. So I'm so used to that. So I'm finding fun out of that. So that's how I've come to that level. So I was sharing my life with that experience in the book. So what happened is that Ham and Haw, they were blaming everything in the world, blaming the situation for like where the cheese has gone. So slowly, Haw came to realize that either they have to change to find the cheese or stay there and just be full of fear every day. And slowly, Hawa started realizing that they are fools. He started laughing on themselves that, okay, what we are doing, we're not doing anything. We are just adding to fear every day for us. So basically, he made a decision between either to change or not change, either resist change or embrace it. So slowly, what happened is like how I started realizing that I need to change because I need to embrace. I need to. So what happened is that he started visualizing that he's able to find a new cheese. He started visualizing the taste out of it, and he became prepared to find a new cheese. So How talked to his friend Ham, said, okay, let's go and find a new cheese. But Ham kept on saying that, no, I cannot go. This is the only cheese that I want. So he was so adamant to that cheese station. So he will say everything to How not to find new cheese. But How could not resist his adaptation. He was willing to make a change for himself and can't live with like that fear or unknown thing anymore. So he went out to find a new cheese in the maze, and he couldn't find any cheese for many days. He used to go to dark corners, everything. You get he will get to have all challenges in the maze, but he will not find no cheese. So it came to that level that he might have think of like giving up on finding a new cheese. But his inner side, like his belief and all those things, because he started visualizing that he's enjoying cheese and all those things, so he kept himself going. And slowly, what happened is that he started finding some little bit of cheese here and there in the maze, and that also started giving some confidence that someday he's going to find his own new cheese, what he's looking for. So what happened is that after a lot of struggle and all those things, he was able to find new cheese. And to his surprise, what happened is like he was able to see those two mice staying there and enjoying the cheese. He was able to see that little guys having little bellies, little fat bellies, that that made him think that they are there for many days. So the realization was that he got a he realized that the more he delayed finding a cheese, the more he's delaying, the more he's getting he's adding to his fear and his like frustration. So he was he was able to see that the mice they took immediate action, and they were able to find the cheese, and they are happily enjoying the cheese before him. So he got he got that feeling after looking at them, the two mice. So slowly, like after his adaptation, as I just told you, like he was able to find a new cheese after a lot of thoughts and all those things. But during this period, he has, he came to, he, so many thoughts came to his mind. Like, okay, like he want to come out of his that fear mode. So he started thinking about so many good things that made him so strong to come out of that fear. And all those messages and all those important things he started writing on the wall. That so that his friend Ham can see that messages, and he can also start thinking of coming out of fear and start finding his new cheese. So he started believing himself, like, okay, he's enjoying the cheese with all his senses, and his visualization became more and more stronger every next experience of visualizing. So that's it. So I'll just go through some of the other things. So basically, how was he able to overcome his fear of resistance to change? And he did everything. He started thinking positive, started anticipating that he started embracing the change with a positive mindset that okay, someday he's going to find the cheese, and he has to come out of that moment of fear. Because fear is something like fear is like false something assuming real. So the thinking is more bigger fear than the fear itself. And the best thing to face to beat the fear is to face the fear. So it just like that. So like all the good things, like all the like positive beliefs, and the willing to change, all that came to Ho's mind, and he did every bit of thing to change the same thing for him also. But Ham was very reluctant to change because his belief system was something different. He don't want to go out of his comfort zone, and he sees that it will cause more problems for him, just like that. So the author has, nicely stated all the experiences in life one goes through when he tries to go to the top of the ladder. So it like how changed his like thinking from resistance to acceptance. So he started accepting that okay, nothing is going to change if he stay just like that. So he need to move out of his comfort zone, and go hunt to find the new cheese for him in the maze. So that's how the story goes up. So the new place where he found the new cheese called in the book is the cheese station N. So it is the main focus on this book is like it's the story of main Ho's journey of adaptation. Is like mostly it revolves around Ho's, because he went from the stage of no action to full action, and the steps he followed was that is the emphasis of that. Like every bit of thought that came to Ho's mind, his own personal belief changed that thought from a limiting belief to a positive belief, and he started believing that the change is the only way to find the cheese. So the author has highlighted the importance of letting go of the past, embracing the change with a more positive mindset, actively seeking new opportunities. So what happens is like like what the author is trying to say is that when you are willing to take action, then you will find every reason to keep moving. Maybe you will not find so many, you will not find success in a very short time, but it will give you small bits of hints that okay, the success is coming on your way. That's what when Howe was seeking new cheese in the maze, he didn't find anything, and he went through the rough weather, with no end direction in the maze, But slowly, his optimism and his visualization that he's enjoying his new cheese very happily, and he's very happy eating that cheese. So that kept him going. So some belief in him kept him going to find the cheese for his life in the maze. So ultimately, when you put all your effort in finding your goal called a cheese in your life, something is going to push you in that direction. So he kept believing that faith, and ultimately he found the cheese. So, so basically, this is what Spencer Johnson, the author, tried to convey in this book, that like what you think and how you react to your circumstances give you what you ultimately get. If you think limiting beliefs, then you are not going to get enough success in life. But you are open to, when you believe that that yes, I can, I have done, like they have found the cheese in the past, So there's a strong belief that if you have found the cheese in the past, then if you are capable to find the new cheese in the new cheese next time. So something inside him was motivating him, after that big thought and that deep thought that he has to find a new cheese, whatever it takes, right? So, and what happened is, one more point is that when he was experiencing this change of thought process, he was, whatever the thoughts, messages were coming to his mind, he was putting on the wall, so that his friend him can also benefit from that, and he can also, when you write something, it becomes more effective on your mind also. So that was, and one more thing was that when he was coming out of his fear mode, he was laughing at his present situation. So when you laugh at present situation, it means that you really want to come out of that. So every time he was making him ready to, finding enough reasons to find a new cheese, he was laughing at himself that what I'm doing. See, and same he was conveying to his good friend Hem, so that he can also, think in the same manner and start finding a new cheese. So what happened is, like, the author has nicely, conveyed this message through this story, that, the change is the only constant thing in life. If you want to grow, you need to change, and you need to change it for good only. And if you put consistent effort and, with a positive mindset, someday you'll find someday you'll find your cheese. Finding your cheese means finding your goal. So that's how it is. So the way the author explained this book is a very beautiful journey through these simple characters, that how you can come out of uh, your present circumstances to the new circumstances where you want to be, like finding your achievements, finding your goals. But it can be anything, like a good job, a good family, a good health, and whatever, good car, whatever I said in the beginning. So I'll just go through something that if I missed anything. And one more thing was that when these two little mice were looking for a cheese, they always had that kit ready, like jogging suits, shoes, and all that. They were keeping very handy with them, because they know that the cheese is changing its shape. Then they're ready to change the direction, right? So they were keeping their the running kit very handy, so that they don't waste any time to find a new cheese and not worry about the current situation, because they know that it is going to happen someday. So why to be surprised about it? So they were, and one more thing is, when basically when you look for a change, we have to go with more optimism, because you have experience with you. So when they were like eating the current cheese in the cheese station C, they already, they have something in that can take him to the next level in a more effective way. So, and one more thing is, like, cheese has like the mice had a very simple psychology. If you don't have cheese, go and find a cheese. Simple, no second thoughts. But the other two people, they were, they were very complicated mindset. Okay, if something is there, they become very arrogant and things like that. So it's just like over analyzing. When you over analyzing things, then you miss the opportunity to in that situation. So we don't have to over analyze. So basically, when you are enjoying the current cheese, then you have to sniff around every single day about what is changing and things like that. Like, you have to sniff very often, so that if something changes, then don't come as a surprise to you. Okay, this is one thing. And one more thing the author very nicely conveyed in this book was that, like, you like anything you impose on yourself or your staff or in your home or in your company, then it will be most of the time it will be opposed. So the learning is that everything has to be very supportive. Let's say I'm the owner of the company, and then I'm looking for a change in the company, then I can't just say immediately, okay, do this, do that. So basically, I have to be very supportive. I have to educate my company about what changes might happen in future, in a very supportive way, in a very conducive way, in a very learning manner. So, like, the transition has to be very smooth. It doesn't have to be drastic. So this is one of the like very nice point I found in the book that I just shared with you. So most of the things are, if you go through the PPT, you will find everything. But what I wanted to add on this is that, uh, our mindset, our willingness to change, willingness to do better, and looking like doing something better every day is the bottom of everything. So through these examples, the author has nicely conveyed everything, and this all relates to my life. I hope I read this book when I was, in my first grade in school. And that I'll just share with you, because I found so nice things in this book that I'm using them in a daily basis in my life currently. I'm really seeing the benefit, and also passing the benefit to all the people that I meet on a regular basis, so that I can share and they can share something with me. So there's a lot of good learning and very nice expression, very interesting book. So that's how it is. I hope I didn't miss anything. And I shared the same uh, summary, I think, few days back. So just like, change happens and change is for good, anticipate change, monitor the change, and adapt to change quickly. So basically, whatever we do, we have to keep ourselves updated in every area of life, and keep very open, supportive, and conducive, and very with the full of happiness and fun, and you will find your way. That's how I take from this book.
Thank you so much, Manish. It was like going through the book all through once again, and it's definitely a book for change.
Yeah.
Guru, your hand is up.
Any question for me or anything? Because I thought I covered everything from my heart, from my mind, everything. And I think one should read this book every time, like many times. I will say 10 times, because every time I read, I find something new in the book. So that's how it is. Yeah. So any question
Yeah,
for?
it was as good as going through the book once again. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Manish. And the story in the book, the way you explained it, it's bit like uh, I would have preferred to go through the story and then tell the lessons out of that. But your way of explaining was like you have gone step by step at every change. So the metaphor of the analogy of the mouse and the change that happens and the reaction to them. It could have been different if you have made a story first and then given the analogy later. But it's good. Everyone has its own style. So maybe many like the way you put it, but I would have liked it the other way. That's my feedback. That's all. But it's very interesting book, and it's a book for change. Like if you see 25 years back, the number of shops were of the nature where you go and ask for the book, ask for the material, and then the person will bring it and give it to you. Nowadays, we have gone through the other change wherein we go to the market, then the things are kept for display. You pick up the one you want. So this book has been written in that context that you need to chase for the cheese and then you get it. You get it what you wanted. For that, you have to search for it. So that's why if you see the supermarket, it's like a maze. So unless you are very regular to that supermarket, you will not be able to identify कि दाल कहाँ रखा है, where is the घी कहाँ है, साबुन कहाँ है. It's a maze. और उस मेज में जाके हम कहाँ से क्या ढूंढेंगे is what is a difficult part. So आपकी चीज माने हिंदी की चीज जो चाहिए वो कहाँ मिलेगी, ये आपको उस मेज में ढूंढना है. Unless you are very familiar with that. तो आप आज हैदराबाद के मार्केट में गए, कल आप मुंबई के मार्केट में गए, तो it's naturally things will get change over. So that's the maze that has been explained in that book. But it's about change, and it's a welcome change. And maybe I am in that maze of yours. I was not able to get my cheese the way I wanted it, but now I will learn to catch up the cheese in the way it is presented. Thank you so much. Yes, Mansi, because Shivani had to leave, you can give your feedback.
Yeah. Hi, Manish ji. So, very well presented. The summary was just beautiful. We actually, as Vasu said, we just could like go through the book and the story again. And because we just read it recently, it is very fresh in my mind too. So wonderfully explained. As feedback, I would say that for me personally, I am more of a visual person. So, and if for many of us like us, I feel even if not the PPT, if you had just put some visuals from Google or something, that would have added to the engagement of it. And yeah, even I would have preferred it that way, that you just go through a story first, in short, and then you explain and then you break it down to the learnings. I think that would have been more impactful for me also personally, I feel. And that is, apart from that, it was wonderful how you took us through the story and everything. And I also felt one thing that I realized while you was sharing with us, that I feel this particular book, or some books are like that, they are very open ended. So like they are kept open for people to derive the meanings they want to from their life. This is like a metaphoric story, right? So everyone could derive a different meaning out of it. For everyone, the goal could be different, circumstances in their life could be different. So I would say that for a book like that, if we can just keep it a little open, than adding our meaning to it, I think that could be more of an introspective thing for the audience. That is what is my personal opinion, and that's it. Otherwise, it was a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Well done. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for all the efforts and wonderful summarization.
I just want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing was, see, today I mainly focused on, keeping the presentation simple and presenting in just a simple manner, so that we can understand and connect it to what we do on a day-to-day basis. Plus, something that should come from that when you feel the real some learnings in the book, then like explaining in a better way, I think for me is adds more value, right? See, every bit is important, like visualization, presentation, everything is important. But my today I just focused on how nicely I can convey my meaning from the book to myself and to all of you.
Yeah, that's completely okay. I just shared my feedback, like just in case you agree with it for some another time. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it was perfectly okay the way you presented also.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's open to the audience to share their feedback and just share, you tell your name and then you can start. Who wants to go first? Pinaki, Bharat, Sakshi, Varu, Manish, Sandhya, Pallavi, Shilpa, Rajeshwari, Sakina.
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। मेरे को तो मनीष जी का प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत अच्छा लगा। बस वही जो मानसी ने कहा कि ये थोड़ी मेटाफोरिक स्टोरी थी, या जैसे आपने कहा कि थोड़ा सा स्टार्टिंग में बता देते कि मेज क्या है या चीज़ क्या है, कि उनका मेटाफोरिक इंटरप्रिटेशन उसका क्या है, तो थोड़ा सा और इंटरेस्टिंग हो सकती थी, या थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेजेंटेशन बेटर होता तो। अदरवाइज इट वाज वंडरफुल। अभी अभी हम लोगों ने जस्ट कल परसों ही खत्म की है मानसी और हम लोगों ने ये रीडिंग, तो इट्स वेरी फ्रेश, तो इट वाज ब्यूटीफुल। इट सीम्स लाइक कि सब पूरी मूवी सामने चल रही है एंड वी आर रीडिंग होल बुक in a fast forward mode.
Yeah, that was my main focus. It should feel real to you, just like that. I didn't focus on
Thank you so
presentation,
much.
frankly speaking.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for the Mansi and Shivani has gone out. So Mansi, Shivani, Anjali together they will give the score, but I am just adding a new dimension to this, that all the four people will get a prize, and all the four people who are presented this month. I am increasing my what you call the contribution. I had placed my budget at 700. I am doubling it to 1,400, and all the four of you will get some book. I will share the budget with you once I finalize it in my mind. Thank you so much for participating, making it a success. Thanks, Sakina, for taking the first step. Boni Bhavani माने अच्छी की है. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Asati. Thank you, everyone.
You're a golden heart person. Everybody should follow your steps, I guess.
Yes.
You're excellent leader, excellent
हाँ,
person. आप फैमिली की जैसे ग्रूमिंग करते हैं, ये sometimes you share the story of your sons. All together, you are the person, a gem person, right?
I have no words to describe the
Exactly.